I know you wait till the last minute to study, and I'm talking about like 12 to 6 to 3 to 1 hour before an exam to look at those PowerPoints or to open that textbook. And I'm not going to judge, but I also know you're not getting the grade that you want. So if you're going to keep doing it, I'm going to show you how to do it right. Hi everyone! So today we're back with another video. And I feel so bad. It's been like 2 weeks since I posted. But we know how college life gets, and it just gets so problematic sometimes. So I apologize for that. So today's video is pretty cool. I'm going to show you 3 ways, backed by science, to study under 24 hours and get the grade that you want. You don't have to believe me, because I let the grades speak for themselves. I've used this method throughout the entirety of my college career. So let's get to the video on how you can get an A in less than 24 hours. Step number 1, my first tip is know your gaps. What that means is, as humans, we automatically go for the path of least resistance. So we study the things that are not as hard, that we are more comfortable with, or that we just have a better grasp on compared to the other content. Wrong, negative. Don't do that. We are going to study what we do not know first. That's the first thing we're going to study. And how you learn your gaps, what I do personally, I take the PowerPoint that I'm specifically studying on, or whatever content, or whether it be Word document, any document provided by the professor, not notes that you have written yourself. I put it into ChatGPT and I ask,
"Hey ChatGPT, make me a 50-question practice exam based on this content."
You're then going to take that exam with no review. You're going to grade yourself. You literally might get a 32%, whatever. It does not matter. What you're also going to learn is, what am I 100% not understanding? I don't even know what this topic is. I cannot define it. Nothing. And what are the things I'm okay with? I have a general grasp. And then also, got this in the bag, easy A. Anything that's got this in the bag, you're not going to review till last. You are going to start with the hardest content first. Specifically, we're going to call this the avalanching method. This is something I definitely took from financial videos, but it works too in studying. Start with the hardest thing first, learn it, and work your way down to what you're most comfortable with. And you're going to notice you're going to start making connections. Here's what you're going to do when now studying your gaps. You're going to take notes. And when I mean take notes, I mean traditional notes. No typing, no trying to put it in your computer. No, you're going to put paper to pen, or Apple Pen to the iPad. That's what I do. You're going to write it down. Specifically, writing by hand activates more areas in the brain than typing does, and this increases your ability to understand and connect content. Because of this deeper brain engagement, we are now able to remember information so much better. And you don't have to believe me. I will put all the sources that I used in this video in the description box if you want to take a look on these scientific papers on why these studying methods work. And I know they work because I'm living proof. Why would I tell you guys to do something that I wouldn't do? Let's think about that. When we're writing it down, something very important, we are going to write with color. We are going to break out all the color, because when I tell you, you start to associate certain topics or certain content with color, and you can even get to a point where you're seeing this color, seeing this word in color in your brain while you're taking the exam. You want to use all the cheat codes that you can to wire your brain into remembering this information to the best of your ability. So to summarize, know your gaps, write it down, and use color. Now, tip 2. Your next tip is we're going to mind map. If you've never done a mind map before, essentially the concept is you're going to start with a large topic and you're going to work your way into branching off into smaller subtopics within that topic, and then you're going to keep branching off. Now, what you're going to do, as you notice, you're going to start breaking off into smaller topics. You're going to find connections between other subtopics. You're going to draw an arrow to that connection and then write in little little areas about how these topics connect together. Neuroscience research shows that by linking images, keywords, and color, that you boost your memory retention by 10 to 15%. And again, you don't have to believe me. I'm going to put these papers in here. And the reason that I'm backing this up by science, we are constantly spread with misinformation, and we're just in the age of disenlightenment, in my opinion. So look at it yourself and see what worked for you and why it may work. And when you understand the science, this also acts as kind of like a placebo effect that it's going to work. And then when you do it, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I got an A. But I knew that you were going to get an A because I know you're smart and I know you have it. And I know you're going to do so good on this exam. Anyways, all of this to say, you are going to make a mind map on the whole, everything that you need to study. You're going to start off with the big topics, start off very broad, and then we're going to specify. We're going to keep getting more specific, more specific, more specific as we start branching out. Clear? Capiche? And we're doing that mind map. We're doing that mind map by writing it down. Another key thing about the mind map, you are going to make the mind map based off your notes, okay? How I do it is I will write all my notes down. I'll turn my notes face down. I'll make a mind map on my whiteboard or on my iPad, whatever I'm feeling like that day, it doesn't matter. But I'll make a mind map just from memory. Then I turn my notes back around once I finish my mind map, and I go in with a different color and write all the things that either I got wrong, I forgot to add, or all the little details that I wasn't getting. So that brings me to my last tip on how to get an A in under 24 hours, the Feynman method. The Feynman method relies on one basic principle. If you cannot teach it to somebody else, you do not know it enough yourself. So here's how you're going to do it, because there's also very specific rules. It's not just explaining it with all the jargon that you use to explain. Like, we're not going into the mitochondria is the blah, 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 whatever. We're not doing all that. You are going to explain a concept like you are explaining it to a child. Better yet, explain it like you're explaining it to somebody who has never set foot into your field. Prime example, if I learn a scientific fact or some scientific information that I think is super cool, what I'll do is I'll explain it to my boyfriend. Very important thing to note about my boyfriend is an IT. He majored in computer science and he has no idea what science, like nothing. It's not his forte. So if I can explain it to him and he understands it, just know that I know the topic well. So you're going to do that same thing. Using the notes and the mind map you made, you're going to pretend to teach somebody else. Let's say you don't have a real person. Sit your little stuffed. Oh, guys, this is Ashu. Isn't she so cute? Oh, girl, put your skirt down. Anyways, but you're going to explain it to the wall. You're going to explain it to your little stuffed animal. You're going to explain it. If you have somebody, that's 10 times better because they can ask you questions, but sometimes we don't always have anybody. And another way you can go about it too is sometimes if I don't have somebody to explain to, it's late at night, I'll put my explanation or my definitions into ChatGPT and I'll ask it,
If you were a child, would this make sense to you? Where are you not understanding something, and how can I better explain this topic?
and that's going to also help me understand where I might be missing stuff, forgetting information, all the things. So the steps of the Feynman method: choose a concept, explain it like you're explaining it to a child, identify the gaps in your understanding, refine the explanation until it is straightforward and clear. Steps 2 to 4 are going to be repetitive. You might have to explain this 4 different times before you get a clear set definition on what something is. Now, to back it by science, of course, by breaking down complex topics into simpler language, you're actually forming clear mental models and increasing synaptic connections. Essentially what that means is we're enhancing those brain connections, okay guys? So, and then you're also facilitating for easier recall. It's easier to understand something when you have it in simple language rather than scientific or industry jargon. To summarize the 3 ways to get an A, you're gonna know your gaps, take notes, and then also write those notes down in color. Then you're gonna do a mind map We're increasing those connections between topics while also finding out where we still might not understand things. So again, it's this refining step. And then to finalize, we're going to finalize with the Feynman method. Pretend to teach somebody else, and try to see if you can break down complex topics into simpler language. You're going to find that after this grueling, this is going to take you about 4 to 5 hours, all of this all together. After this very grueling process, you're going to take a break, come back and do that same practice test that you did in the beginning and compare your grade from the beginning of your study session to after, and I promise you, you're going to do drastically better. And if you don't, you don't even have to worry about that because you will. And guys, just to let you guys know, this video is not something that you should be doing all the time. It is important to note that cramming is not good for long-term memory. It's the least effective way to learn information. This is simply just for the grade, but I know we need that GPA strong because we're going to go pursue other degrees. We're going to go into industry, and we have things where we need our grades to look a little good. 3 tips, and let me know what you get on your next exam by using these 3 tips. I think that it's the prime reason why I could get such good grades while not studying for half the amount of times that others can study or that I used to study before. So I'm very proud of mastering these techniques. And of course, it's not what I can use all the time, but it is something that can get me out of some pickles. Like either I forgot to study, I forgot I had an exam. But let me know how you guys do on your next exam. And I'm so proud of you guys in advance. And an A doesn't define who you are. An A doesn't tell you that you're the best student and you're the most intelligent. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope you use these 3 tips. And please comment down below if you use this and got a better grade on your exam. And I hope this helps somebody because I know for sure it helps me. So thank you guys, and get an A on that next exam. Bye.